Hey guys, welcome back to another badass episode of MudbugMiniTrucks.com. Today, Mr. Mudbug is going to bring you a service. I've been trying to make these service videos to help you guys out. I get a lot of phone calls, because as you can see, we service all makes and models here. But what I'm going to do today is show you how to change an air filter and an oil filter and an S211P, which is the Daihatsu you see right here. I just got this truck in yesterday. It's a scissor dump. It's the only truck I have currently that doesn't have an oil change. So beans, we picked it up yesterday. I figured I'd shoot this tutorial today to show you how to change your oil and do this service. All right, first of all, you're going to notice right here we have a container. It's going to have 3.5 quarts of oil. It's marked right here. All your engines are going to take the same amount of oil. All your three-cylinder, no matter what brand you carry, what brand you buy, it's going to have 3.5 quarts in the engine. And I like to keep a set of blue gloves here, the vinyl latex gloves, to keep my hands clean during the process. I also have the oil filter remover, the wrench. And in this case, I'm going to need a 14 millimeter wrench to remove the oil drain plug, a refill funnel, and last you're going to see I have the oil filter. Now this is a Wix oil filter, and you'll see the number here. It's 51394, also available in MicroGuard. Now this is going to fit all your Suzuki trucks and all your high-jet trucks. I don't believe it fits any Mitsubishis. In fact, I know it does not. It doesn't fit any of the Mitsubishis. I don't think it fits Honda or Subaru either. I don't service those trucks, or at least I don't purchase those trucks, so I don't keep any of that stuff in stock. But also something I want you guys to do. If you can remember to do this, you'll see here I put mud bugs on the bottom of my filter. I put the date as well as the kilometers. This way I can track exactly how often my clients are changing the oil and just kind of see how many miles they're putting on the truck annually. We ask that you change the oil about every 3,000 miles. And that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I'm going to show you one more thing too while I got it here. Now this is an air filter for the S211P. It's also good for these other makes. You see all these right here? So you can, this filter is universal for all your high jets. Now you can see this is what it looks like. Obviously it's brand new. And while the oil is draining and dripping, I'm going to show you how to change the air filter at the same time. That way, that's the oil drip. I try to get as much oil out of the engine in the oil pan as possible. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to put my gloves on here, and we're going to get underneath the truck, and I'm going to show you how this is done. Now, as you can see, I keep a light. I like to work in the light. Sometimes the guys won't use a light, but I like to work with light because I'm getting old. It's outside. It's raining outside, guys, so we have the doors shut currently, and the fans are off for the video purposes. But let's go ahead and get started. Just roll this over here. We're going to take our 14 millimeter wrench. And here's your drain plug on your high-jet. So we're going to just take the wrench and we're going to break this loose. And you can see it is loose. We're going to pull the oil pan over, and we're going to drain this oil. We do this with every truck. No matter if the filter is fresh or not, we change it. Now, if it's a new truck, we won't do that with it. But if it's an older model truck or a pre-owned truck, we always do. Now, I always keep rags in my pocket because I'm extremely neat and clean. It's kind of one of the things that I'm very anal about. Now, while this is draining, we'll go ahead and let this drain out. Again, you can kind of see the color of the oil. I'll move the light over. It is time for an oil change. You can see it's got that brownish black look to it. It is due for an oil change. Now I'm gonna come around the back here, and I'm gonna show you guys how to change the air filter while this thing is draining. You want to come around the back. I'll go ahead and show you how to do the air filter. Now, located on the high jet, it's under here. You can see this is it right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and take it out. We're going to take the air filter out and show you what it looks like and how to replace it. You simply take the wing nut off the back here, big butterfly nut. Going to loosen it up, and that's what it looks like, guys. And then I'm going to pull the cover off. See if I can get that off of there. down. Looks like it's jammed up here. Oh my goodness. All right, we're going to set that there in the chair and pull out the air filter. Let's take a look. Yep, it's about time for the air filter. All right, we're going to set that down for a moment. I'm going to grab the new one. Now, every time I do an oil change, I change the air filter. So I'm not going to write the date and all that on this because I'll do it every time if it comes into my shop. Whether they like it or not, I do it all together just because I know they'll never change these things. And the oil in the air filter is the life of the truck. So if this thing's congested, it's like putting your hand over your mouth and your nose and trying to breathe. It's the same thing that happens to your truck. In your case, you'll die, but in the truck's case, it'll lock the engine up. Or at least you'll lose all your compression. So I'm going to slide it in there. Either way, it doesn't really matter which direction that goes in because it's the same on both ends. And of course, just slide the plastic cap right back over it. Line that stud back up in the middle. And I'll drop the butterfly nut. In 1 second. All right, guys, I dropped the butterfly nut, so I heard it, paused it while we recovered it. All right, so we got that back on. I'm going to move over again to the oil filter. I'm going to go shut this compressor off. All right, guys, we're back. I had to go shut off the compressor because I'm shooting a video and it's too loud. So we're back from the pause. But anyway, as you can see, we're down to a final drip on the oil dripping out of the engine. So we're going to wipe that down a little bit, and we're going to put the oil plug right back where we got it. If I can get it started. There we go. I'm right-handed, guys, so I'm trying to make the angle best for the camera. So, all right, so we got that in place. Go ahead and wipe that down clean. I'm going to take the wrench and just give it a little bit of snug on it. That's it. Nothing crazy because you will strip it. All right, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to show you how to take this oil filter off, which is located right to the front of the oil pan on this model. Mitsubishi, Suzuki, sometimes they're in the rear. I'm going to go ahead and grab that wrench and we're going to loosen her up. Wow. So you can see, and it appears that some very strong man put this oil filter on, which is completely unnecessary to have this thing that tight. I literally had to destroy the oil filter to get it off just now, as you've seen. I'll go ahead and set that back down. And I'm going to go ahead and pull this oil filter off. I had to put a hole in it with the tool just to get it loose. Again, we're going to get all that oil out of there. I'm going to take the new filter. What I like to do is, basically I just take a little bit of the old engine oil off the rim here and just put it all around the ring, the oil ring. I don't know if you can see that, but it softens the rubber and it also makes a nice seal. It's about finished dripping. You don't have too much leftover oil from these things because they're so small. So I'm going to go ahead and put that oil filter back on. Again, guys, I'm trying to do this left-handed, and I am right-handed. Hey, go ahead, close that. All right, guys, we got the filter started. Again, guys, I'm doing all this left-handed, and I'm right-handed, so it's a bit awkward for me. But again, I'll clean that all filter, and then I'm just going to tighten it as tight as I feel like it's good and snug. That's it. I don't have to put a wrench on it. That's not necessary. See how difficult it was to get that filter off? That's not necessary. I'll make it tight enough where I know it will not turn loose and it's good and snug. Okay, so now that is done. We're going to move this thing out of here. We're going to drop this down the whole lift. I'm going to show you guys where the dipstick is and how to check the oil and how to fill it. All right. Put this aside. Open the door. I'm going to grab these, the oil, and I'm going to grab the funnel. I'm going to show you how to fill it. The door up too. Why don't you come on back behind the door? All right, guys, we're inside the truck here, and this is where the high jet oil fills are located, back here on this back side. And if this was a Suzuki DA63T, the oil fill would be right up here somewhere in the front. But it does say oil on it, so you cannot make that mistake. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. I'm going to set this down. Now in this case, I'm going to use the oil funnel, but I probably really didn't need it because this particular container comes with a the container comes with a funnel on it. But let's go ahead and get started. We'll fill it up. And again, guys, the oil I'm using currently here is a 10W30 full synthetic. It's just what we like to run. Sometimes I'll use a high mileage oil just because the engine is small. And here in Texas, it's very, very hot here. So we use a thicker oil to try to help combat some of the heat. Up north, you may run a little bit lighter oil because the oil does tend to get thicker as the temperature cools. All right, so we got that 3.5 quarts down. We'll set that like that. We'll put the oil cap back on. Again, guys, everything I'm using my left hand for today. Normally, I don't, I'm right-handed, but for video purposes, I had to use my left hand to pretty much shoot the entire video. So apologize for the clumsiness that appears in the video, but unfortunately, I'm doing everything left-handed. All right, I'm going to show you how to check the oil because, again, this is something that, I'm going to move this out your way. I get this all the time. I know y'all, I see this post almost daily on the pages, but guys, look, here's your dipstick for the high jet. It is way down, and it's very difficult to see if you're not used to seeing these things. And in fact, I have to look closely here to see where it is myself. And I actually spotted this thing earlier, but again, I'm trying not to get in the way of the camera. Anyway, let me do this, guys. Let me grab a light. Just hang tight. All right, guys, I went and got a light and put it on here so we can see. Again, it's raining outside. It's darker in my shop than usual. But right there, you'll see it's red. There's a little red into the dipstick, which you'll see again is right here. And I'm going to go ahead and wipe that off from the initial check. Put it back down into the hole here. We're going to check it again. And as you can see, it's to the second hole, which is absolutely perfect. And of course the oil is crystal clear because it is fresh and new. All right, so basically today we covered the air filter and the oil change. So I think that's about all I can cover currently, but I'm hoping that the video helps you out. We're going to try to do more tutorial videos as we go, you know, for other maintenance like radiator changes, transmission drains, rear end diff fluid exchanges, things like that. And if you have any suggestions for videos, things you may want us to take care of, or maybe you don't know what to do in your truck, we can try to help you out, and maybe shoot that video if you guys have any suggestions for us. But I think for today, guys, I hope this was a helpful video. Typically this oil change is very, very quick for us, but doing the video, there's a lot of positioning of lighting and cameraman and other things to try to get as much information on video as possible. Anyway, guys, I hope this was helpful. I appreciate y'all viewing. Again, leave your comments on the bottom if there's anything you think of, or maybe anything I could have improved on myself. I appreciate y'all looking at Mr. Mudbug coming at you. Oh, and don't forget, guys, our show is coming out September 26th of this month. It's going to air at 11 o'clock p.m. On the Pursuit TV channel. DNA Outdoors is going to be the host of the show. So look for our trucks on there. Maybe they're going to include some of our build time and things like that in this show. I appreciate y'all looking. God bless you. Y'all take care. And howdy from Texas.